Here lies everything.
Hi, I'm Jinx, and this is my friend Fred. Fred? Hi. This is Fred. He's a descendant of Napoleon Bonaparte, the famous general from the French Revolution. He's also got multiple personality disorder. Usually when it comes to psychotic people, I have to call Rasputin, but, well, Fred's cool. Would you care to tell us about Napoleon, Fred? No, not really. Fred, I cannot depend on you to tell my great and meaningful history. Oh God, woo. Fred, not again! Well, since Fred's, out, will you tell us about some of your history? But of course! When I started out, I was elected into the First Council of France. I set up my campaigns against the enemies of the French Revolution. In 1779, I took power in a coup d'etat and made myself the first consul. It is there that I grew to power in the latter stages of the French Revolution. I crowned myself emperor and my wife Josephine de Beauharnais the empress. Well, what about invading other countries? I thought you were really good at that. Well, preceding my marches on Russia, I had to divorce Josephine. I needed my heir to have royal blood, you know. You see, the leader of Russia, Alexander I, refused his sister's hand in marriage to me. It was an outrage. I would not stand for it. So I took an army of 650 million men, and we stormed Russia for the capital. And, how did that go, Napoleon? Wonderfully, of course. We took Russia as our own, and though you may not believe it, gained even more power. Well, I believe that's incorrect, in way too many ways. What are you talking about? First of all, you didn't march 650 million men to Russia. You marched 650,000. And secondly, Russia was in shambles by the time you got there. They burnt their crops and killed their livestock as they retreated. When you finally got to the capital, there was no capital. One building was left. And finally, after that, your troops diminished severely. You fled back to France with fear of vicious Russian winters. Not to mention, you forgot about the coalition uprising. Nonsense, my dear. Napoleon never forgets. Never forgets his victories. While all of this pressure was building and having the near whole of Europe snapping at the entirety of your throats, France banished Bonaparte to the island of Elba. But I escaped and rose back to power in early 1815 and was emperor again for 115 days. And what happened after that? I won and France was saved. No. Bye now. Well, what Bonaparte neglected to mention was the bloody battle at Waterloo. Later the same year, after Napoleon escaped Elba, he fought the battle that would signal his final defeat. This happened in Belgium during June 18th of 1815. Because of his fail at Russia's invasion, Napoleon was down a buttload of troops. This, paired with the fact that Prussia was rearing its head, led to his very anticlimactic defeat. After that, he ran back to Paris and tried to make it to the U.S. He instead was captured by the British and lived the last 6 years of his life on the island of St. Helena. Despite the last couple of defeats, Napoleon was a good military lead. Before he went all power-hungry, he was very good for France. But still, the biggest strength of his would probably be the military skill. At a young age, he went to France on a full scholarship to a military school, and climbed ranks at great speeds. Not only that, but his propaganda and way of words helped to sway the masses. He also had weaknesses, like he didn't know when to quit, and made the people he conquered angry with his tyranny by conquering even more lands which did not need to be, well, conquered. But he also had some hidden weaknesses. Did you know he fawned over his wife Josephine? Well, up until the point he divorced her, of course.
Our rainbow's tale isn't quite as nice as the story we knew of sugar and spice. But a rainbow is easy once you get to know it, with the help of the magic of a Pegasus device.